Today, Spider-Man and Wolverine begin their team-up. Logan explodes through the sewers with a roar. His claws already popped as he cuts his way through the Hydra agents. His adamantium claws slash through the Hydra limbs, revealing them to be robotic in nature. He's below the streets of Berlin, attempting to meet an old friend. Finally, the last Hydra soldier falls. I see you haven't lost your touch. Bill calls from his place in the shadows. The old spy steps out, and Logan glances at the bodies around him before sheathing his claws. "What do you want, Bill?" he asks his old spy friend. Bill smiles, revealing the scar that covers half his face. "World peace, but that doesn't seem particularly likely. Have you heard of the Janus directory?" Bill asks him. Logan nods, his mind flashing back to his covert ops days. "Yeah, a master database of the world's double agents. Gotta figure I'm on it. I did a lot of undercover work. Stuff I'm not proud of. Back when I was CSIS, Logan admits. Bill nods, admitting that with S.H.I.E.L.D. disbanded, the database is like having a loose nuke in the wild. It not only reveals the true identities of every undercover agent, it also includes every mission those agents went on. If it sees daylight, a lot of lives are gonna get ruined," Bill says as he hands over a file. Logan flips through it, looking at pictures of a woman and her child. "Are you gonna let that happen?" Bill asks. Later, New York City. Spider-Man swings across the skyscrapers, aware that he is very late. He quickly changes into his street clothes and drops into the chair across from his girlfriend, who is unaware of his secret identity, yet still doesn't seem surprised when he just shows up. "You're late," Shay points out as she turns to Peter sitting across from her. "I know," Peter tells her with a smile, taking a sip of the coffee she bought him. "Even for you," she continues with a sigh. She leans forward, admitting that his lateness has given her time to think. "Not great," Peter thinks to himself. She nods and smiles. "I think I've figured out why your life is such a dumpster fire. This stems from your parents, Peter, who you never talk about," she says. Pete nods and takes another sip of his coffee. "Well, that's only 'cause my parents were secret agents who were killed in the line of duty," he tells her nonchalantly. Shay nods and points at him. "And you hide the truth, and from the truth, with humor," she finishes. Suddenly, the relationship discussion is interrupted as Logan pulls up on his motorcycle, kicking up dust as he looks at Peter. "Parker, I need you for something. Let's go. Now," Logan growls. Peter doesn't try to argue and glances back at his girlfriend sheepishly. "Shay, I'm sorry. I know how bad this looks, but Logan is a really important, co-worker," Peter says as he stands up and straddles the back of Logan's motorcycle, putting on a helmet. "Are you kidding? You've left every date we've ever had exactly like this," Shay shouts as Logan and Peter speed away. Later, the pair arrive in Astoria, Queens, at a defunct S.H.I.E.L.D. storage facility. The two of them descend into the old S.H.I.E.L.D. warehouse. "Took me a while to track this Janus directory down," Logan growls, but Spidey shrugs. "Really? I mean, isn't it obvious you'd find a S.H.I.E.L.D. intel database on a S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier?" Spidey asks as they drop onto the deck of the defunct hanging helicarrier. The two of them begin to move quickly. "The protocol's on the carrier's quantum core, which can't be deleted without decrypting it first," Logan growls softly. Spidey glances at him. "And what makes you think I can break through the S.H.I.E.L.D. encryption?" he asks. Logan looks at him. "You're a dork," he says simply. Spidey nods, but turns quickly as something sets off his Spidey sense. He leaps out of the way as a carbonadium coil whips out and smacks Logan in the face, knocking him away. Spidey turns as Omega Red and Kraven the Hunter step out of the shadows. Damn that spider-like sense of his, Kraven growls. Spidey turns back to Logan, who has already picked himself off the floor. It would have helped if you'd given me the heads up that these guys were here, Spidey points out. Logan shakes his head. They weren't. I'd have sniffed them out, Logan growls as he pops his claws with a schnicked and leaps at the villains. Spidey leaps into the air and shoots a web. Hey, here's an idea. How about I take your guy and you take mine? Just to keep things spicy. Spidey jokes as he leaps at Omega Red. He jumps and twists over Red's coils as he pushes his attack. Hi, I'm Spider-Man, he calls out as he shoots a web at Omega Red's face. But the Russian mutant rips the webbing off and grabs Spidey by the neck with his coils. Your friend killed me and left me for dead, Omega Red growls as he pulls the web slinger close. Spidey struggles against the coil, trying to free himself. Would it help if I told you he doesn't think of us as friends? Spider-Man gasps. Meanwhile, Logan blocks Kraven's knife with his claws. Not for nothing, bub, but I can see why you've tried to kill him a few times, Logan grunts. But Kraven smiles at him. He's an insect. You are a far more challenging quarry, Kraven growls. But Logan twists and slashes through the knife. Sweet of you to say, he says as he twirls and kicks Kraven into a nearby jet. Nearby, Spider-Man is still being strangled. Pathetic! Kravenov told me you'd be a more formidable opponent, Omega Red gloats. But Spidey finally manages to twist his way free of the coils. He swings through the air and spins around, slamming hard into Omega Red and knocking him away. Ho! I can be formidable when I want to be, Spider-Man shouts. Meanwhile, Kraven pulls himself from the wreckage. Fair warning, bub. The only way that directory is leaving here is with me, Logan growls at him. But Kraven shakes his head and pulls out a rocket launcher. That remains to be seen, he says with a smile as he fires. The round explodes against the wall, sending debris showering down on Logan. Darkness overtakes the mutant, but Logan struggles against the rubble and begins to push it off of him. But something doesn't seem right. It's no longer hardened concrete, but packed dirt. He strains and pushes, and suddenly finds himself pulling himself free of a grave. Spider-Man looks around and finds himself in a snowy forest. His skin is bare, except for the strange monitoring helmet that is strapped to his head. He lets out a roar of pain and pops his claws. He is fighting a bear in the woods. Logan fails to save Mariko from the Green Goblin on the Brooklyn Bridge. Both heroes are confused as false memories flash before their eyes. Finally, Logan shakes his head, realizing that these memories are false and they are being messed with by Kraven. Must have hit us with some sort of hallucinogen, Logan growls to himself. He suddenly pushes away from the false memories and finds himself standing back to back with Spider-Man. Both heroes manage to fight off the hallucinations. Wolvie, give a sniff. You smell something that's like a fine blend of spring mist with a whiff of desperation? Spidey asks. Logan sniffs the air and motions to the nearby Helicarrier bridge. Yeah, coming from there. Why? He asks. Spider-Man nods and leaps up and swings away. Babysit these jokers for me for a few minutes, Spidey calls out. Logan nods and launches himself at the villains. You could have at least said please, Wolverine shouts. Spider-Man swings through the bridge viewport, shattering the glass and landing in a fighting position as he faces the true villain. Yep, I'd recognize that smell anywhere, but I thought, this can't be Mysterio because he's cleaned up his act, Spider-Man says as he glares at Mysterio, the villain's trademark smoke swirling around the room. I certainly tried. At the end of the day, though, I was made an offer I couldn't refuse. Mysterio tells him. Spider-Man nods and leaps forward. Well, I won't lie, Quentin. I'm a little disappointed, Spider-Man admits, hitting the villain hard enough to crack his fishbowl head. Below, Logan continues to battle against Omega Red and Kraven as Spider-Man begins to work on cracking the computer. It doesn't take him long to get into the database, and he quickly sees names he recognizes. Mary and Richard Parker. Images of his parents and their missions flash across the screen until Peter finds something about their deaths. There's a video, and he plays it. The images shift to show his parents flying a plane, but someone suddenly steps out of the shadows. Someone that Peter recognizes. Logan? He gasps in shock as the mutant steps forward. What the hell are you doing on this plane? Richard Parker demands as his wife draws her pistol. My job, Logan growls before the video goes black. Meanwhile, below, Logan has managed to defeat the two villains and now stands exhausted. But suddenly, he is hit from behind. Logan slams into the ground and growls in anger. But when he looks over his shoulder, it is Spider-Man that's standing over him. Logan, I'm gonna kill you! Spider-Man shouts in anger. And that was the complete story for Spider-Man and Wolverine, issue 1 by Marc Guggenheim. This is a comic that came out last year that I've been wanting to get on the channel, and so today, I finally did it. So let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. And if it does well enough, and enough of you like it, we'll continue it here on the channel. And don't forget, help us out by liking and subscribing. I'm Dan with Comicstorian, and we will see you next time. Rest in peace, Benny.